ours.
Touch the YouTube till we get closer. Because we don't got to do much. I mean, the Facebook, excuse me. Because we ain't got to do nothing on that, but go and everybody's notified automatically. So you saw Onward? I saw your review on it. You really enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was good.
Did you ever see that Ben Affleck drinking movie?
No, not yet.
Good for you.
Yeah.
With the basketball.
Oh, you saw it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Minutes.
I'm probably going to see it Thursday with Liz. She talking about she want to go see a movie. I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be wrong. We're going to go see.
I'll go live in about 2 minutes on Facebook. Right now I'm sending everything out on Facebook for the YouTube right now. The Twitter all up here. Let's take it down, slow down. He said he wanted to get to know her, but don't turn around now. Yeah, how thick is shorty that you're like, hey, I want to know you, but I'd rather just watch you from behind. Or how much of a creeper is that? I don't know. Is that border on creeping or is shorty that bad?
Jimmy Graham.
That's not bad. That's not bad music, kid. Don't nobody care about Jimmy Graham. That ain't no kind of dude.
We got who's he with?
The Bears.
You know, catch balls from Michigan.
Andy Dalton.
I know he's excited about
Andy Dalton. That's who he's catching balls from.
I'm shocked that the Seahawks went and got Greg Olsen, man.
I know.
Usually they make way better players than that.
But I think they need probably trying to get him for a locker room.
Maybe.
You know, a lot of times people do that.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I'm going to take something and I don't know if you can get the link off Facebook and then put it on Instagram. What else is going on? Oh, I saw The Invisible Man and I saw Bloodshot.
Hold on, I got Chuck about to get on here, so we're off of it. What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Until showtime.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to make sure you can hear me.
We're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook, so don't incriminate yourself.
Chuck, that's Jason. You hear talking. I got Jason Allen in here, and also got Travis Butler, and so they'll be talking some too. And like I said, we'll have you on here for about the first 30 minutes, and when we're talking about NFL stuff, and then we're gonna get into some other nonsense. But we're gonna talk about the transactions today. Talk about the CBA too, and definitely want to hear what you guys say about the CBA. So, like you said, we're live, and so we about to get going here. We got you'll hear the countdown on the thing. The lady keeps telling us how far out we are. We're about 3 minutes out.
All right, cool.
2 minutes.
There you go, 2 minutes.
Showtime.
All right, sounds good.
Hey Chuck, I heard that Vic Beasley said he ain't need your help to get 8 sacks this year. What's going on, Miss B?
About to give a little change, man.
Where you think he's gonna land? You think he's gonna land anywhere decent?
He said, "Where do you think he's gonna land?"
Oh, I don't know, man. I think Cleveland was looking at him. He'll probably be here in the next day or two after all the big guys kind of go. But yeah, he should, make it more than Auburn did. Shoot, man. Interesting though. Everybody, when you get out there in open market, he's better than somebody's. He's better than somebody's best player. Worst player. So that can pick you up.
So you said once all the big names go, you're trying to say Vic Beasley Jr. is not a big name?
Hell no. Hell no. Not just no. Hell no.
See, I'm gonna be real with you, Chuck. Since you got you in the game for real. Like you got skin in the game. So all I'm gonna do today is try to get you to throw a little bit of shade, just a slight bit on somebody, just a little bit. Not enough that you're going to damage no relationships, but just enough that somebody like, I gotta get in the gym harder. You know, like I heard Chuck, I gotta get in the gym harder. He feel that way.
They already know. They got to get in the gym. Chuck can tell you that. Vic knew when he was out there doing what he was doing. He knew. He knew.
I don't know. With this new CBA, man, they can smoke a little more weed. They may be less motivated.
They may be. I mean, that's that shit to be seen. It's gonna take it one of them to come to work high or something like that. Because at the end of the day, they need to make sure they understand.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
We don't mind you being high. That need to be on Wednesday, not on Saturday, not on Sunday.
OJ, you already starting, bro.
Come on.
OJ, you already starting.
Talk Radio.
Larry Rivers special. This for you, Larry. This Larry's request. Man, I don't know why we told them they could request music.
I know. I'll make a remix called Sitting on Corona.
I know that's right. Larry Rivers, you better be watching this show because this is your song that you requested. I'm going to give him this last line. Wasting time. Here you go. Welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from Sugar Hill, Georgia. You're not whistling, all right, while I'm over here talking. Are you serious? Good God Almighty. We're being brought to you by the Playbook. Follow us on Twitter at Playbook Athlete. Here are my co-hosts, Mr. Jason Allen, Mr. Travis Butler. We got Chuck Smith on the line. He'll be joining us here shortly. First of all, I want to welcome everybody to Intergalactic Men's Day.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all had International Women's Day.
Right.
I decided today going to be Intergalactic Men's Day. Because you know how me and Black, we be traveling like intergalactically, not just international. Yeah, so all that International Women's Day, today is Intergalactic Men's Day. I just put that out there for y'all. What you playing now?
Got some more Beastie Boys Intergalactic for you.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. That's
Come on, man.
Oh, man, that's bad.
See, this is what you said. I'm talking about.
Exactly.
You see what I'm talking about?
Beastie Boys.
What's
all
wrong with the Beastie
You
Boys?
playing some Beastie Boys?
All-time great,
man. They were terrible. That's like playing some Vanilla Ice.
I like
You may have to go and put on some Ice Baby or something.
You are excluded from music conversation
Oh, my
from this
God.
point on when it comes to hip-hop.
Bless your heart.
It is. Hey, what's up, Israel?
Anyway, come on, let's get on this thing. Folks, we got a lot on the show today. We're going to talk about first, obviously, what everybody's talking about, coronavirus.
I thought everybody was talking about the other thing.
We talking about that too, but we talking about, I say everybody. We talking about that other stuff. We'll get into the transactions and all the nonsense that's going on out there in the football world today.
Right.
But we're going to talk about corona, of course. I think, for me as being a high school coach, the word has gotten to be about like spring football.
Right.
How long they going to hold this thing out? They said today it went to July. Now everybody's saying things will be back to normal in July. Well, if that's the case, it won't be in the spring football. So we're starting to get a little bit of panic from some high school coaches. Like, hold up now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I thought we were just going to do this for about 2 weeks, maybe a month.
Right.
But now y'all extended out that far. That's a little word right there.
So just get some info. Ms. Peavy said she didn't know we could request music. Ms. Peavy also said, I thought we were supposed to be 6 feet from each other, practicing, social distancing?
Social distancing.
And OJ said he had a corona party at his house.
He probably did.
Lots of limes.
Out all you just said. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Falcons here in a minute. But here's my thing about coronavirus, because this is what some of my friends, like Brad, I'm glad Brad's on here. I asked Brad to be on here.
Oh, Lord.
Because everybody's talking about how the media is causing this mania and this panic and overreaction and all that other stuff. And I agree with the media, but I think part of it is the social media, because there's a lot of people out here on social media, and everybody wants to blame the mainstream media. It's a lot of these same people that spend there, act like they work on social media. That's their job, to go out there and put out information that they got from somewhere else on social media. And to me, social media is for what we're doing right now.
Right.
It's for entertainment. It's for fun. Kind of take the edge off of your day, have a little fun doing some stuff like this on social media. Other people act like this is where they get their information from.
Right.
This is where they tell their kids not to go outside right now because social media says is raining ice cream cones or whatever. I mean, it's just nonsense. I mean, what in the world? Social media.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's causing a lot of the problems that we're seeing. Is stuff that we're watching on social media, not knowing whether or not it could be staged.
Right.
Because I know everybody knows a lot of stuff, like they said. All those Instagram girls you see out there who are this and that and blah 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 blah.
Not bad.
Nobody wears bikini in the mall when they go to the mall.
That's what I believe.
It's like a TV show. Somebody set that up. Y'all thinking it's a girl walking around in a string bikini through the mall like that?
Of course.
Yeah.
I see it.
Hey, Coach,
I know.
Coach, look,
I know
look.
y'all
Seeing
do.
is believing.
I
I
know.
see it.
This has been a tough couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
Don't kill my dreams.
I know.
Don't do that to me.
That's what I do. I'm the dream killer.
Don't do that to me.
I'm the dream killer. And you know that. And y'all already know. We talk about this all the time. I'm not an ordinary man. I see a lot of stuff y'all don't see. And that's what that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to tell y'all what's really going on.
I think that was the title of episode 21.
And I'm trying to tell you, and you're going to find out today for real how I'm not an ordinary man. Because all these people on social media, same thing we talking about, social media. What are the Houston Texans doing? Are you, Travis, pre-production. We sit there in a few minutes. Travis, oh my God, what are the Texans? Oh my God, what are they doing?
I don't sound like that.
Pretty much.
That sounded like Travis. That's pretty good.
Something like that.
That's pretty good.
And I'm sitting up here like, dude, that was a great move they made today.
We're gonna get into
it.
I just wanted, before we go any further,
Come on.
I want to introduce a new member to the team.
Come on, who you got?
We call this Black Excellence right here.
Mhm.
You see this?
Yeah.
Hopefully you're on Facebook. The audio is a lot better.
Oh.
Now, granted, Black Excellence is on a YouTube one, but Old School is on the Facebook. So hopefully
Okay.
the audio's better, but I'd like to introduce y'all to Black Excellence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got, we got him in the building now.
New member of the
I didn't
team.
get him. He's Black Man.
Yep.
We got Black Coach.
That's it.
We might as well get Black Excellence out
I hear
here.
you.
So,
I ain't mad at you.
all right, but I just want to introduce that to new member to the team. You know?
All right, that's good to hear. Now, here we go. We're gonna start the show off, getting on the serious side. But yet, listen, I'm with everybody about this whole coronavirus
Yeah,
thing.
he got you.
Obviously, it's a pandemic. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff you need to do.
Mhm.
I think you need to be smart. I think that a lot of stuff that they're asking you to do, you should have already been doing anyway.
Yep.
Who don't wash their hands? I mean, I work in a gym.
Oh, as soon as you said that, the guesses came on.
I know. I work in a gym. You should be doing stuff like that anyway, especially when you like the good ones and you got little hands. I mean, we got little hands like that.
Hey.
It's easy to watch them.
We need the viewers. Be nice.
They came on right at the right time.
Miss Peavy
Because
said,
we were
what
just
is
talking
Black
about
Man?
that.
What's Black Man going to save the world from this?
A black man doing his thing now. Black man got this corona. And that's the thing about it. See, that's the American thing in you, Miss Peavy. Black man can't always be over here saving the day in America. Black man over in Africa. Over in Africa, they chilling right now. I mean, they don't have coronavirus issues over there in Africa right now.
He beating it back, huh?
Yeah, black man doing his thing. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So anyway, let's talk about the CBA. First of all, before we talk about the CBA, I want to bring on to the show.
Absolutely.
He's agreed to be here with us for the first 30 minutes of the show or so. Anyway, y'all know him as an all-time Falcon great.
Mhm.
I know him as the best, bar none, pass rushing trainer in the country, if not in the world, if they played football anywhere else. But and he has a son that went to North Gwinnett, who's now playing at Wofford. He has another son who's currently at North Gwinnett, plays wide receiver. Awesome family. His wife is one of the nicest ladies I've ever met in my lifetime. And it is a pleasure and an honor to have him on the show, Mr. Chuck Smith. What's up, Chuck?
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, boo?
Hanging in, man. Yeah, you sound good. Sound good. So, Chuck, we're gonna talk about the CBA here. And just so you know, because like I said, we're trying to help people out. Like to give a little education on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Collective bargaining agreement.
All right.
We always say CBA. A lot of times don't say what it is, but basically that's the contract between the owners and the players.
Right.
Okay. Now, before we get into it and the vote and how the vote went, just let me say this to you. They had a meeting to discuss the collective bargaining agreement before the vote happened. So they called all of the meeting reps.
Right.
Every team has a meeting rep. Okay, one person off each team shows up. So 32 people show up to talk about the collective bargaining agreement. Only 27 of them showed up for the meeting.
Well, I think they said 500 players did not vote.
500 players plus.
Yeah.
500 plus players didn't even vote. And me, you know how I did. I called around, checked with some of them.
Yeah.
And I asked them, I said, why didn't y'all vote? They said, we thought we'd vote for president. Anyway. Chuck, just hearing that, tell me what your thoughts are on that as being a former player.
Before we jump into it, do you want me to go over some of the stuff?
Come on. Hold on. Go ahead.
So part of the agreement is that between 2020 to 2023, the NFL can go and approve a 17th game.
Okay.
From 2020, they moved to a 47% revenue. And then in 2021, they go to 48%. And then once the NFL does their media deal, depending on the percentage, the NFL players will get more. They raised the league average players from basically about 20% jump. So I know that was something you were concerned about, the guys at the bottom getting more. They've extended, gave extra roster space. So your active roster now can be 55 over 53. Your extra roster for the guest game days can go from 46 to 48. But one of them has to be an offensive lineman, I think, was included in there. And your practice squad can go from 12 to 14. The players will get paid over 34 to 36 weeks instead of 17. Marijuana no longer warrants a suspension, but a fine. And I think the THC level has to be at a certain level to even be fined. Padded practices are down from 28 to 16. You can't practice for more than 4 hours a day, and no practice section could be more than 2.5 hours in one session of that day.
Okay, hold up. Stay right there.
Yeah.
Now, Chuck, I don't want to go too deep into it.
Right. That's pretty much all I had. And then the playoffs, moving to a 7 on both conferences. Only the 1 seat now gets the bye.
1 extra bye week for every team.
Okay.
As well.
Oh, I think
now, Chuck, let's back it up. Talk to me about what you think when you hear that the meeting reps had a meeting. 5 of them didn't come. Let's just take this one bullet point at a time. What do you say about that?
Well, I think it's kind of always been that way, bro. I think there's a majority of people that usually kind of lead the charge and speak on behalf of a lot of guys who are not informed. But I just think look at it, from that standpoint, a lot of guys just truly, they really don't care. There's no difference. So I think the misconception that we have is these same guys are businessmen that all of them went to Harvard. I mean, these are the same cats that come out of school, same cats that are from JUCO, same cats that might not be informed. So everybody in there is not a person that's necessarily going to care. Just like you said, it's just a microcosm of society.
Yep.
We have people that don't vote for the president, so, I mean, it's no different, man. Some people, are more serious about things like that and some aren't. So I just think that's the same thing the guys are. There's a segment of those guys in the league, like you said, that didn't vote.
Yep. And that's what I was about to say, and you already touched on it, about them not voting. Here's my thing about it. And speaking with several people, I spoke to several guys I know in the NFL, a couple of coaches I know in the NFL, just to get some take on it. And a lot of them said, I will say everybody I talked to was African American. That was just by chance. Some of them other folks wouldn't answer my phone call, but but like I said, the people I talked to, well, they know I hang with black. The people I spoke to even went so far as to say some of them, more than one of them, said just by the way that they even did the voting, because he said, dude, it's the off season. And you sending people emails in the off season.
Oh, Lord.
If it's not hitting a text on their phone, you forget about them trying to deal with so when I said that, 500 in vote, they said, I'm surprised it wasn't more than that. Because when you trying to get in touch with cats this time of the year via email, I mean, nobody's sitting down in front of a computer, and nobody's hitting that icon on their phone. You know what I mean? The bottom line is that to try to get in touch with these guys in that way, it's just not going to happen.
Well, the sad point is that the voting was so close that 500 extra players could have changed how this agreement went. Like it could have been denied. It could have been, stopped. But I mean, it's ain't no different than you said in our political voting as well. The people that don't vote when unvoted, it may change the whole situation. So
I know, and I mean, you know, when and one of the guys I spoke to is actually a player rep. He said, "Listen, you know, I actually think it's not as bad as everybody might think it is. I actually think it's pretty good because at the end of the day, you know, we got a lot of good stuff. Like I said, some of the stuff you read out in there is good. You know, some salaries are going up.
right,
They're getting increased players. You know, they're getting the increase or less padded time. So there's a lot of good in there. But the majority of the guys that I spoke to said that I spoke to said that they voted no. The ones that did vote said they voted no.
I personally think I think it's a bad deal. But Chuck, what do you think about the deal overall? I know it's hard to say overall because it hasn't been in action, but from on paper, what do you think of the deal? Do you think it was good, lukewarm, or you think it was great for the players?
I think it was great for the players. I think they got an increase in revenue, but I also think, you know, most of the guys in the league, man, on each team, there's only a few guys that's making like the upper echelon money. So I just think even going into a strike is not an option because there's so many guys there that, you know, wouldn't have been able to, you know, make the kind of money that they needed to make to survive. And I think then number two, throw in the way that the practices are. You can only go 2.5 hours. What is it, 16 padded practices, only a certain amount of days in camp. So what that's doing is somewhat, I mean, that's unbelievable. I mean, to me, that within itself, the practice schedule. Then you throw in about the marijuana thing, which, you know, a lot of the guys do smoke. And so that's going to say, you know, help some of the guys from that standpoint. Then just looking at, you know, just the ultimate, if you're one of those guys who have the opportunity, because really what this CBA is doing is for the next guys that's coming behind.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys ain't even going to see the windfall of it. But if you are one of those guys, it always perplexes me listening to, you know, people outside who really never get in. So it's easy to say someone, you know, is bad when these cats is making 1.5 million. So the guys that are in this bad situation are set for life. But what the real deal is setting these other guys up ultimately so they can at least have a seat at the table with the owners. Because the owners, the bottom line is the owners control the league. They do. And if they want to be knuckleheads, they can, you know, so the players, if every player was making money like Aaron Rodgers, they'd have something to stand on. So I think it's a good deal. Nobody gets all they want. But in this generation, for what the players have taken control over with just the practice stuff, the money they're making, you know, now the team that makes the NFC Championship makes damn near 100,000 one player if you lose.
Yeah.
And so compared to, you know, I think again the league is growing. Nothing's perfect, but I feel, you know, that this is a good deal, and there's nothing perfect. But I think this is as much as the players are going to get, and I think this is as much as the owners were going to let them get.
Well, so I don't, just because, I mean, your perspective is a lot clearer. You and Coach's perspective is a lot clearer than, let's say, mine and Travis, who haven't been indoctrinated in the league a lot.
Right.
I think for me, as a regular guy that works a job day to day, I felt like the things that I thought should have been most important for the players wasn't given or gotten. Again, that's from my perspective. Like, one, I think healthcare for the rest of your life, like solid, great healthcare for the rest of your life, should have been the first marking point they said. The second thing I think should have been how they handled the veterans in the game, because eventually, like you said, once this is over, these players are going to become those veterans in the game who are going to rely on the healthcare, relying on that pension, relying on a lot of those things that if their body isn't fully functional, they're going to need that support and help. Now, granted, if they do work by their money, et cetera, absolutely, because they're getting more of a revenue share, it should fix those issues, but you never know how things come and how you. So for me, I would have thought those would have been the first two principal things for them were healthcare and how the other players, the veteran players, are treated after they retire. And I think those are the things that were. I even have heard rumors, and I couldn't find it verified, that they actually lessened the healthcare and the payment to the veteran players with this deal. Now I don't know if that's true or false. I couldn't find a reasonable source to confirm that, but I've heard rumblings that it actually hurt the veterans more that retired in this deal than it did help them.
And I don't know about that. I hadn't heard anything about that, but like you just said, and we talked about this on the show before, you know, Roger Goodell, it was time to renegotiate for his contract.
Healthcare and a jet.
He got healthcare and travel for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Free travel and more healthcare where he'll have to pay on healthcare ever. Those are the two things he wanted. And the players wanted what? Less practice and be able to smoke weed. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I wish that, like you said, it would have had more centering around, even if it was just healthcare. I mean, I know, and I'm Chuck, I'm sure you know too. There's a lot of guys up there that's been beat up by this game, especially when you play on that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I was fortunate enough to play at Vanderbilt and go up to the Seahawks for 1 year and all that. But guys like yourself who play multiple years, I mean, I can't imagine, because you know, I can't wake up pain free ever. I can't tell you last time I woke up pain free.
Mm-hmm.
It's an elbow, it's a knee, it's a neck, you know, it's a headache, it's something every time I wake up from. And I played the game the way I felt it should have been played, threw my body around, all that stuff. And I can't say that I wouldn't have done it the same way, even if I knew I was going to wake up the way I'm feeling now. But the bottom line is that when you give your all, play as hard as you can, do the things that you did, Chuck. I mean, why is healthcare not on the center of everybody's mind, on the front of everybody's mind when they go into these kind of agreements?
Well, I hear what you guys are saying, but everything that I described earlier, that is the healthcare. You're not hitting as much. You got the new rules that you can't put your head down. Healthcare is the foundation of what the NFL is about now. So now we're talking about all the different things about the rules, the tackling. You can't, steer a quarterback from the ground. That is healthcare. That's keeping guys on the field. Now they don't even kick the ball off. So now, there's no real kickoff. You can't do wedge blocking. You can't have wedges. So one of the biggest things that the NFL has done now, pre-93, it didn't help the guys like myself, but absolutely the guys now, they have the most extended best health care. I mean, annuities, they got, anything you can think of. This ain't the old generation, so no disrespect to y'all. Mm-hmm. You should do your research because you guys are way off base when you talk about the players' health care. And that's the reason it didn't come up, because the health care is at an all-time high. Now, one time, did you hear anybody say we're fighting for health care? So I respect what y'all saying, man, but I mean, the information you're giving, you should do your research, man.
Okay.
Both of you guys.
Listen, I will accept that because I'm only going by what I'm being told. You're exactly right. I'm going exactly what I'm being told by guys in the league.
You're being told, do the research. Do the research on your own, because listen, you're going to have guys, man, that look at things in a different way. But again, this is the best generation, highest paid, well-taken NFL of all time. Well, from my standpoint, there are no weaknesses. Listen, there are no weaknesses in these guys in the game now. It's multi-billionaires dealing with multi-millionaires, and they got literally, even when you retire, they take care of you damn near forever, man. So, you get lifetime on your knees, your back. This ain't the old school, man. This is not, look, I can't relate because these guys have so many more benefits than what we got. But I ain't trying to, go this route with y'all. But it's after the former players, like, damn, man, it's like, damn, these cats, they've been fighting for all this stuff, but they ain't talking about healthcare. So I really, I had to really speak on behalf of the players, because it's like, y'all kind of tripping, man, about what y'all talking about to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, Chuck, and like I said again, my perspective out of the gun is that you would have more insight than we would. That's why I brought it up. But is your argument that because the healthcare is better than when you played, it's good healthcare? Was the argument that this is the best healthcare the NFL could provide for its players and former players with the money they have? Because my argument is that this is the most balanced sport that's out there, and I don't think the healthcare, and this is from things I've read when I did my homework on it, and there's a lot of veterans that sue the NFL, which like I know, because of the healthcare issues, that this is not the best healthcare that 32 billionaires can provide players that could be available. That's where my argument is that everybody out here is fighting for healthcare because that's the most important thing in our political policies, do everything. If your argument is better than when you were there, absolutely, I can't argue that. But I can argue that it's numerous people that are saying the healthcare for the NFL is subpar compared to all the other sports, and all the other sports are not making the money the NFL is making. That was my argument, is why I think that should have been at the forefront of these players' instincts.
Right. You know what, man? So let me tell you about healthcare. So now, if you got 2 accredited seasons, not 6 or something like that when I played.
Right.
2 accredited seasons, and you receive benefits. So these are guys who 2 years in the league. So for again, there's the healthcare standing up, man. So like I said, man, the gist of this deal clearly didn't come down to healthcare. It came they right now, man. Them dudes got great healthcare, but it's never gonna be enough. It's just how it goes, man. Everybody stands up for whatever, but I just think healthcare, man, where they are, what they're doing. I hear you though, but yeah, that's just my opinion.
No, that's good. I like that.
I understand, and that's a great point you just made.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's down to 2 years now from when it was 6 years when he was there.
Right.
So that obviously is a big win for the guys who are playing today versus when he was playing, and I totally understand that.
And that's why we got you on the show, because now you're educating myself and our audience on that, because I know that's some questions that people ask about as well. So I definitely appreciate that. That's what's up.
All right, here let's get into this, because this one we got about 6 minutes for Chuck. I want to talk about the Falcons.
Oh,
we're gonna talk about transactions. We're gonna talk about transactions that happened today, and whether or not we think they were good transactions or bad transactions. That's all we do. Why y'all laughing?
Is it terrific or terrible?
Terrific or terrible?
All right.
That's like I said, terrific or terrible. And right now we're just gonna focus on the Falcons.
Okay.
So that's why we got Chuck on here.
All right.
All right, we're gonna talk about what's one of the things Falcons did today.
Okay.
I'll start off. Desmond Trufant. They let Trufant go. Good or bad?
I think it was good. I definitely think it was good.
Okay.
No question.
I agree. I no problem with it.
Yeah, I'm about to go. He hasn't been playing very well.
I'm y'all know me.
Yeah.
I said this about 2 years ago. I thought they should let him go. About a year, maybe 2 ago.
Right.
I said I think they need to get rid of Trufant while they can.
Yeah.
Because I think that if they had tried to trade him then they could have gotten some more pieces that they need.
Right.
So I thought that was a good move. Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman.
I think it's a good move. I think Edo Smith is a guy they can hold on to, but I think they'll probably look to get someone in the draft. I think they probably will.
Okay. Travis?
I like it. He's been his production has declined the last few years. I think you can get your second round pick. You can get a good running back that can you can build with. So I got no problem with it.
I guess keep it the thing. I think it's a terrific move as well. I'm down with Freeman going and kick rocks.
Again, I think it's just too late. I mean, if you saw him this year, he looked like a shell of the runner he was when he was in his prime. And we know the lifespan of NFL running back isn't very long anyway. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it was just painful for me. So I used to love watching him run.
Oh yeah.
Well, when they had those 2 dogs back there, him and Tevin Coleman, dude, that was like, I mean,
so you used to like watching
that was a left-right punch. Well, you can't watch the throwing game. I didn't never like the passing game, but I definitely like the running game. They had 2 dogs back there, and they were scary. Whoever they played had to worry about their running game. So I was big time on that.
Next one, who you got?
What's the next one? Hooper. What do you think about Hooper? Chuck being
let him walk.
They traded him, didn't it?
No, they let him walk.
Oh, they did. Okay,
yeah,
let him walk.
He signed with the Browns.
Okay, come on, Chuck. What do you think about that?
I really like Hooper, man. I'm glad. I thought they could sign him back, but you know what? They ended up making the move they thought was better, getting the kid from Baltimore. But I really like Hooper. I think he's going to do well in Cleveland. But I think it was a good move for both teams.
Okay.
And the Falcons.
Travis.
For the Falcons' sake, I think it's a good pick. Good to let him go. Hooper is now the highest paid tight end in the league in terms of what he's getting paid.
Yeah, for now.
He's not that production-wise, so there's no way you could have paid him that. And that's what he was wanting. You can't pay him like that if you're the Falcons.
Jason.
I think it's a terrible move. I think you keep Hooper. In this game now, where controlling the middle of the field is so important, and having a tight end that can do that very well, and Hooper's athleticism and all that. Now, maybe some injury concerns. I didn't like the move. Now, granted, I know the money was a huge factor. I think you keep Hooper in that situation.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a star. Well, he's in Cleveland, so no, he won't. But if he would have stayed with Atlanta, I think he would have been a star.
I'll say this: the Falcons traded their best receiver today.
Well, let him walk.
Whatever. Let their best receiver walk today. That's my opinion. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And come on with it.
Don't sleep on Hayden Hurst now.
Bring it on now. I'm
I
telling you
think
right
picking
now.
him up was a good idea
Whatever.
too.
Whatever.
For him.
Whatever. They should have kept him and traded that other clown that I've been trying to get out of here for the longest time. I'm trying to tell you right now. I don't know why y'all hanging on to Julio. And we're gonna talk about the trade that Houston made in a little while. But I think that they should have still, while I keep on saying this, and you're gonna wait just like True Farm. You're gonna wait too late. You're gonna wait until the transmission falls out of that car, then you're gonna try to trade it to somebody, and it's gonna be too late. I mean, the bottom line is that they should have kept a Hooper,
right,
and put Julio on the road.
Chuck, what you think about that? Should they have the Falcons? Are they too late in getting rid of Julio? They should keep riding with Julio.
I think you got to ride with Julio, man. I think Julio's not part of the problem. I think he takes a lot of the money. I think that's the problem. Him and Matt Ryan, and Grady, and I guess Deion Jones. A lot of those guys take up a lot of that money. So the Falcons create a lot of cap space by letting Freeman, Hooper, some of those guys go. But I think Julio's the truth, man. I think Julio will be here. He's looks like he's gonna go down as the greatest Falcon player of all time. You can't let him go. You got to ride with him when he's old, when he's young, but he's still productive right now. But I don't think Julio Jones ever leave Atlanta.
He be productive. And Chuck is right. What he's saying is true. That leads to my point exactly. I think that he is so ingrained in the Falcon lore and whatnot, they'll never let him go.
Hold up.
Now, Tom Brady's ass might be leaving leaving New England here next week or whatever the case may be, but Julio ain't never gonna leave Atlanta. They're never gonna let him go.
Chuck, you feel that Julio will end as the greatest Falcon ever, not Matt Ryan?
No, I was
MVP
about to ask the same thing.
He said
Not Matt
receiver.
Ryan.
He said receiver.
Oh, receiver. Okay, sorry.
Okay.
He said receiver.
All right.
No. I think the overall player. I think Julio Jones is probably already the greatest Falcon.
Oh no!
Oh really?
Wow.
Oh really? That's big right there now.
Okay.
That's big right there.
Along with Justin Tuggle, I think who doesn't get enough credit. I think Justin's the best defensive player that I saw, that I believe. But I think Julio is the greatest Falcon of all time. Look at his numbers. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer if he retired today.
Yeah, they look at that.
He's not even a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
I love it.
Okay.
All you Falcon.
Just go look at the numbers, man. Just look what he's done, and he's got the all pros, all the things they look for, and Julio, like I say, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. No question, man. I know Hopkins, Antonio Brown. I mean, they've all had flashes, but Julio's been there steady. So I can say Julio.
Mr. Peavy said, "What about Deion Sanders?"
He said Deion's the greatest Falcon of all time for his 5 years there.
Yeah, I think I don't think he's he never he's, in my opinion, he's not though. I respect your opinion though.
I got
you. Chuck, I agree with you completely about Tuggle. I think Deion is he's flashier and his name is more known overall, and that's why people feel that way. I'm with you with Tuggle. I think Tuggle is the best defensive player the Falcons ever had. And I'm a 49er fan, so I remember watching those old NFC battles with the Niners and Falcons growing up. I'm with you, but Deion's the name. That's why I think everybody's going to roll towards Deion.
Well, there's some other people. There's some that Richard Hood said William Andrews. He said Tuggle.
Yeah.
So there's some folks out there that got some that know about all these Falcon greats. I know, Jason, you always liked Steve Bartkowski.
Oh, yeah, that's my dude. Yeah. All them interceptions you threw for the Niners, I loved them. Go ahead and throw that ball away, homie.
He one of your all-time greats.
I hear Richard. I hear all that, but how many of those guys are Hall of Fame?
Ooh, I hear you.
All right. I'm asking. You tell me, we can hoop and holler all we want. Richard Hood, William Andrews ain't in the level. It ain't even listen, man, I love William Andrews. He's not even in the conversation with Julio Jones. Let's be real now. I mean, this Julio Jones is a freak of nature, man. Look what he's done, man, continuously. But
Billy White,
on the other spectrum, Don't do that.
See, I told when I tell you, Chuck, a pre-production.
Hey,
I'm gonna try to get you to throw a little shade, just a little bit.
hey, boo! I can't even keep going if they're gonna really throw that out there. It's not really.
I'm just reading.
No, and listen,
You throw shoes out there. Man.
Hey, Chuck, don't get mad at me. I'm just reading what the fans are saying.
I know, and yeah, shoes ain't up there. I mean,
and Deion was super flashy, man. But when it comes to performance, Jesse Tuggle is he's a better Falcon than Deion. But flash and dash, no doubt Deion's your man.
I know, and I love Deion, but I've said on this show many times, Deion Sanders ruined the game football. Got kids playing cornerback, think they don't need a tackle. I'm a cover corner. I say it all the time on this show. I'm just telling you, I say it all the time on here. I love Deion. When I see him, I love talking to him. He's a great guy. He ruined the game football for these doggone defensive backs. Don't think they need a tackle.
The Falcons picking up on getting Hayden Hurst. What you think?
What do you think, Chuck? Hayden Hurst.
Oh, I think it's good. I like Hayden, man. He's underrated. Kid came out of South Carolina. He's big. He's tough. He gives the Falcons a little more blocking. But I think he's a little more big play threat. Faster than Hooper, bigger. Yeah, I like it. I like the Falcons that they went out and got somebody. You get rid of Hooper, you felt like you can improve. I'm sure this deal was done and already done, behind closed doors. So
yeah.
I think the Falcons are pretty confident that they can get this trade done. I think, remember, the second was the same second they got for Mohamed Sanu.
Yep.
So they really got a player for a better player than they had as two guys they really gave away.
All right.
Okay.
What about you? Oh, well, you know how Travis gonna say.
You know, I like it.
Fan.
I'm a South Carolina fan. I like it.
Yeah.
But also, for Falcons' perspective, with Hayden Hurst, your number one tight end, you're saving a bunch of money that you can use elsewhere. So production-wise, I think Hayden Hurst is going to be very good for Ryan. He can still stretch the field.
Mm-hmm.
Not the greatest blocker, but Hooper wasn't either. So you can make that up with another your second tight end.
Jay, what you think?
Oh, I think it's terrible because I wanted Hooper to stay. And also, I look at the fact that Hayden Hurst wasn't the best tight end on his former team.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even the second best tight end on his former team.
Well,
I don't think he got the
Oh, that's what it was. He didn't get the reps?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
I hope he can block, because I don't know who's going to throw the ball to him. Anyway, listen, it's time to let Chuck get out of here. Chuck, listen, I want to thank you. I know you're a busy man. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
We definitely have to get you back on here. And
What the hell's busy right now?
what's that now?
Busy sitting on the couch.
Chuck, hey, look, Chuck, you a big name. You got to protect against that corona, bro. We got to keep you safe.
Yeah, I
You're a
know.
national treasure.
Quarantine, man.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't doing nothing.
I ain't mad at you,
Hey,
Chuck.
I'm still in my pajamas. I have pajamas on all day, man.
I hear you, man.
Everybody sitting on the couch, man. Hey, they got me quarantined, boo.
I hear you. Well, listen, I appreciate you being on here. We definitely have to get you back on here another time.
Chuck, you got to come in person next time,
Yeah,
man. So
man.
we can have this out.
You got to come on
We're
in the
going to have
studio.
some fun next time.
Y'all sure y'all want some of this smoke?
Come on.
Oh,
Come on.
Man, you call me a chimney, bro. I'm all about the smoke.
Dude, your boy don't want this. Burn the whole studio down.
I hear you.
Drop these dimes on them boys.
I hear you, man.
Hey, look, it's Coach's house. You can burn it. It ain't gonna bother me nothing.
Come on through. Come on through.
You can take my seat.
All right, man. It's good talking to you. We'll talk to you later. All right, man. Tell the family hello. All right,
That's
Chuck
it,
Smith.
guys, man. Another illustrious guest out here, man.
There you go.
I love it. I guess we go ahead and take the break.
Yeah, let's go and take a break. You listen straight from the hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from Sugar Hill, Georgia. Here with my co-host, Mr. Travis Butler and Mr. Jason Allen. We just had Chuck Smith on the line. Chuck was talking to us about the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to us about some of the trades made today with the Falcons. We got a lot more we're going to talk about here. I know some of y'all waiting. Some of y'all waiting for this old DeAndre Hopkins thing. I can't wait. Because we about to talk about it here in a minute. So anyway, let's go ahead, Jason, and go on down the line with these transactions for the day.
All right, let's see. Let's start with rumor is Tannehill's going to get 118 mil from the Titans. Terrible or terrific?
I'll go with terrific. I'll tell you what the reason why is like it keeps the team together. It allows, I think, the Tennessee Titans to spend more money around him if that's what they want to do, which I think is probably what they want to do. Spend less on the quarterback, keep the better football players like Derrick Henry, who I know they tagged, but try and work out a longer term deal, and I think gives them the money to do that.
But they just tagged Derrick Henry. That's a terrible move. The best player on your team, you just tagged.
I agree.
Like, so you gave the guy who only played half a season and may not even be that good.
Amen.
And you tagged the guy who got terrible.
Come on.
I ain't gonna say no more. Terrible.
Terrible for me too. And here's my reason, just like what Jason just said. I hope and pray y'all get back to the Super Bowl in a year or two. So that's about the life. That's the lifespan of what he's got left.
Yeah.
So you just gave a guy $118 million for 2 years, basically. And I guarantee you, after about 2 years now, you're gonna be replacing him with somebody else. So you better win the Super Bowl. You just put all your eggs in one basket. Not to mention, you still got to pay him.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got to pay him.
Yeah.
So, like I said, at the end of the day, you just gave to me somebody who ain't even in my top 10 would fight to be in the top 15. Thank you. Would fight to be in the top 15 quarterbacks in the whole league. You gave him $118 million.
Okay, so let me
That's your heart.
Let me just ask you a question. Then one games we love to play is the name game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take Brady off the board.
Okay.
Let's just say Brady just didn't want to go to Tennessee, and we'll take him off.
Okay.
Other quarterbacks that would be available, Andy Dalton.
What about him?
Would you take Tannehill or Andy Dalton?
They're the same player.
I would take Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's one with less of a team.
They're the same player to me.
Okay.
That's the same player.
Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, hell
no.
I'm just saying,
No.
those are the quarterbacks that are out there right
Teddy
now.
Bridgewater?
Teddy Bridgewater.
I take Teddy Bridgewater over him.
Yeah.
8 days a week.
Philip Rivers.
I take
Rivers.
Okay, I'm just asking the question.
Yes.
That's what we call the name game.
But you'll have to ask him more, because bottom line is that there's plenty of jokers out there I'd take over him. I tell you that right now. $118 million for him.
What was that kid at XFL? PJ Walker?
PJ
I'll
Walker.
take him right now.
Exactly. I mean, you got to be kidding me. I mean, that to me is insane. When you sitting up here talking about like Dak Prescott and he can't get his bag, and Deshaun gonna be fighting to get his bag. Cam sat out a whole year because he couldn't get his bag, and you're gonna get Tannehill $118 million.
Time out, because we didn't address this last week. Why you keep saying about that Cam? What you know that we don't know?
What?
Ain't nobody came out and said Cam been sitting up because he didn't get his bag, except for one person on this show.
I got one thing.
You know that we don't know.
I got one thing to say to people who watch this show all the time. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Straight from the hip family's been peeping at. Every time Cam Newton come up, he's talking about some Cam set up because he didn't get paid. Ain't nobody said that, but for some reason on this show, that keep being the narrative.
That's all I'm gonna tell you. I keep on trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to enlighten the audience to let them know what's going on. So anyway, what else you got?
So we got this one. Next one we got Hooper going to the Browns. Good move for Hooper. I mean, well, he got paid.
I mean, he getting paid. I mean, he ain't gonna win.
He's not gonna win. But
I mean, he ain't even gonna see the playoffs this year. I mean,
much worse quarterback too.
We know that. I mean, he in the land of misfit toys.
Right.
All the nonsense, all the drama. I'm surprised. Baker Mayfield, did he say something stupid today? Baker Mayfield. He normally every time something going on, he says something stupid.
Oh, Richard Hill with a good one. Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tannehill.
Tannehill.
I take Fitzpatrick.
That's a lot closer to me.
I take Fitzpatrick.
I may go Tannehill just because he already knows the system.
Okay, well,
that's the only reason why.
Exactly. Not much more than that. He's in there with all them little mediocre quarterbacks. That's it.
All right, Kirk Cousins 2-year extension, $66 million, 61 guarantees. He's making $33 million a year, but $61 million of it is guaranteed. 2-year extension. Travis, terrific or terrible deal?
I think because you're Minnesota, you're trying to keep everything together. Terrific.
I if it means that Stephon Diggs has to walk,
Which is probably going to happen.
Terrible deal. I think it's the fact that people still think that Kirk Cousins is a starting quarterback. It's a terrible deal. And I think that Minnesota, the fact that you watched that playoff game against the Niners and realized how far that gap is between you and probably the second, third best team in the NFC, Kirk Cousins is the reason why that gap exists. Terrible deal.
It's an awful deal. Kirk Cousins is terrible. I mean, and it is. The NFL is what it is. You got Lamar Jackson out there starting. You got Jameis Winston out there starting. I mean,
now,
you got Cam Newton. If he was healthy, I know he's hurt.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You got him out there starting. I mean, the NFL is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's just not very good right now at that position. And so some of these guys are getting by and out there doing their thing and whatnot. And just kind of Marcus Mariota was a starter there for a little while. You got all these little misfit quarterbacks out there.
Marcus Mariota.
That's what I'm saying. Phillip Rivers on his last legs. Drew Brees on his last leg. Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. All these, Matt Ryan. Good God Almighty, somebody do something about him. I mean, the bottom line is that it's just not what it used to be. And so when you talk about paying Tannehill $118 million, and now you're talking about playing this other jackass $66 million for 2 years, do y'all know what that is? That's like, I mean, come on. $33 million a year for that? I mean, the stat lines, these jokers are fighting to throw for over 100 yards a game. I mean, fighting. Fighting. For over 100 yards a game. Well, our boy Garoppolo, what was he in one game last year? 6 for 8 for 86 yards. I mean, couldn't he bust 100? Can't get 3 digits. NFL game can't bust 3 digits. Got jokers on his team running 4-2, and you can't get to that. I mean, are you for real? I mean, Lord, I'm sorry.
Lay off Garoppolo.
I can't help it. Go
Byron
ahead.
Jones, highest paid cornerback in the league, signed with the Dolphins from the Cowboys to the Dolphins. Travis?
So?
I think it's a terrific deal for the Dolphins. They got a bunch of money. They can spend it. And, I mean, they ain't going to be good anyway, so you might as well get somebody some money.
I think it's a terrific deal for the Cowboys. They need to get rid of that bag. They got
free up money for that.
They got to free up money for that. And they're trying to keep Amari Cooper, too.
Yeah.
They put the franchise tag on Dak because that buys him some time.
Transition
till
tag.
July 15th or whatever, till July 15th. And they trying to get Cooper, to sign now, work with them and all that other stuff. So yeah, you had to dump something somewhere.
Making millions for being a mediocre quarterback, and you don't have to get hit. You could go around and start dressing like Cam.
There you go.
We feel you. All right, we got DeForest Buckner for the Niners got traded to the Colts for a first-round pick. Also, the Niners signed Armstead to a 5-year, $85 million deal.
They just signed Sean Coleman. I'm just letting you know. Yeah. I know you're 49, so terrific.
It hurts because I like Forrester a lot, but I'm gonna go terrific because I think you can leverage that
to get a first-round pick.
Yeah, draft.
I think I'm like you. That's not significant to me. Mm-hmm. I think it's kind of a wash. I think the 49ers are just trying to kind of fine-tune things.
Yeah.
And I really don't think they're trying to really upset the apple cart too much.
Right.
I think they're kind of happy with what they got now. Mm-hmm. They might have to do some things from salary cap purposes and whatnot to kind of move some small pieces around. But I think and when it's all said and done, you're going to see pretty much the same team on the field.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, think about it. You dominated the Vikings. You dominated the Packers. I mean, the Saints gave you a run for your money in the dome. What other team can really compete against you? And you were so much far ahead, better than all those other teams. So you're right. Like, it was like it was close. So, even though all year nobody wanted to give them that respect on the show, but we'll talk about that another day. AJ Green and Derrick Henry franchise tag, Travis.
I like it for Tennessee, especially. You got to keep Derrick Henry, and it gives them a chance to see if you can create a long-term deal. Mm-hmm. As a Bengals fan, I'm kind of up on the fence with this one. AJ's been injured the last few years, of course. But if you can get a long-term deal that is cap efficient, don't have a problem with it. But also, if it's not working out, you can trade him halfway through the year, and hopefully you get something with it. So at least maybe you can get something out of it if he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal.
I think it's terrible on both ends. One, this is the opposite of the Cowboys situation where they paid Zeke and they shouldn't have paid him. You pay Derrick Henry. He's the only dude you got really in your team. You got a strong defense. You got a guy that can run the ball. You pay Derrick Henry. I hate the AJ Green deal too because you said it perfectly. He's been injured the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't even think AJ Green wants to play for them.
I don't think he does.
Because if he wanted to play for them, he would have signed a deal knowing where his injuries is and where his physical health is. And typically you sign that kind of deal for two reasons. One, you know you can't play no more, so you try to take them for what you can get.
Okay.
Or two, you know you can still got a lot in your tank and you need to try to get the hell out of there. So being franchise tag, I think like it's terrible for the Bengals and terrible for AJ. The Bengals should either release them, traded them. They should have figured something else out. But a franchise tag, I mean, this dude probably ain't going to really play next year.
Well, like I said, I'm hoping that the Bengals are thinking, okay, this gives us more time that we can trade the Bengals.
What day is this? The AJ Green going to play 8 games next year.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I agree with you totally. I think both of them are bad because you can't give Tannehill $118 million and think you're going to be able to make Derrick Henry happy too. I mean, if I was Derrick Henry, I'd be like, well, you better have 119 for me. That's all I'm telling you. Because I know I'm better than that joker. I mean, you want me to be around, you want him to be around. You want to count on me running it, or you count on him running and throwing it?
He used to be a receiver.
I hear you, but I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, that's insane to me as far as that deal. As far as this other, let's put this in perspective about the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, I know. We're terrible. We suck. Okay.
Your best player, your best player that you have, is the best player, the one that you were going to put the franchise tag on, is Joker didn't even play last year. I mean, who does that?
I'm gonna say, are we crazy?
Who does that? But I'm tell you right now, I'm tell you right now, it's kind of like when you've been playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you played ball back in the day, basketball. You running and whatnot. You say, you know what, y'all go ahead and run. I'm gonna sit this game out. I need to kind of recruit. Let me get a little eat a zinger, eat a pack of zingers.
Oh, because it's me. That's fine. Sorry.
Whoever, get me a Sprite. I'm gonna chill for this game. Then after that, I'm back in. Hold on.
What's the zinger?
What happened when that game's over? You like, no, man. I'm going to
take it to the house.
I'm gonna call it a day. I'm out. When you sit out for a whole year and you've been sitting around there going home early and playing with your daughter, you like, no, dog. Hey, listen, I'm going to fake it till I make it for a couple more years, get one more bag, and then I'm out. I mean, you got to be shitting me. And it ain't like he's a spring chicken.
No.
I mean, how old is he? How long he been in the league?
What, 31?
He's 31.
31. I mean, 30 anything is old in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, no. I can't believe you put that just tell you the state of the Cincinnati Bengals right there. You franchise tagging a 31-year-old man who didn't even play all last year because he was hurt.
He played in a year and a half.
In a year and a half. And that's when you put the franchise tag on.
We had to put it on somebody. We had to put it on somebody. That's ridiculous.
That's awful. That's awful move.
I can't believe put it on Andy Dalton. Let him stay one more year.
Exactly. And you like both of them moves. You ought to be shaving yourself.
Well, he's a Bengals fan. So.
Yeah.
Lord,
all right, we're going to get to it then.
Come on.
Hopkins to the Cardinals. Johnson to the Texans.
Come on, Travis. You hate it.
I'm going to start because I feel like y'all going to have more.
Okay, come on.
So I'm going to go ahead and start. I like the deal for the Texans. I dislike the deal for the Cardinals. I don't think this makes the Cardinals any of a better team getting closer because I feel like in that system, the receivers aren't the focal point of it because the scheme, like the route running is good. I think for the Texans, if Johnson has anything left in the tank, ladies and gentlemen, Carlos Hyde had a good year behind that line.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know if you got the quarterback, you don't need A+ receivers if you have the quarterback. You can get B+ receivers if you have the quarterback.
Let me ask you a question.
They have like the worst line in the history of the NFL.
Hold on.
Once again, Carlos Hyde ran behind that line too.
Let me ask you a question behind this. Where is Carlos Hyde?
Probably on the scrap heap.
I mean, he's still there, right?
Probably
okay,
so.
let's go. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Just go ahead. Keep going.
That's it. I just think I think it's a good move for him. You got to pay Deshaun Watson, so you got rid of your probably highest paid player on the team outside of J.J. Watt.
There you go. Come on. Travis.
So everything that you guys just said about AJ Green, he's injured. He's been injured. Dude, Johnson's injured and has been injured as well too, and he's a running back, which they're less likely to stay healthier. They're less likely to get back to healthy faster than a wide receiver is. Their offensive line, their offensive line is terrible.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to get to your point. That's why I'm trying to wait and see what you're talking about.
DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals I love that move. I think
You said it was all for earlier. You said it was all for trade. What were they thinking?
But he thinks the Cardinals had a good.
I think the Cardinals. It's good.
Okay.
Let's be honest. How many more years does Larry Fitzgerald have? One, maybe two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minus 3. He should have retired 3 years ago.
No, he's still a manageable player, but he's not a number one.
Okay.
You don't have a number one.
I agree.
You can stick him at number. You can stick Fitzgerald at 2. Hopkins is a top 5 wide receiver.
All right.
And you can pair him with your young quarterback, and they can be the future of the offense in an offense with Cliff Kingsbury that passes the ball. You have one of the top 5 wide receivers in the league.
So tell me why it's bad for Houston. Because you said it's so bad for Houston.
I just said that, David. The same argument that you're using for AJ Green, a guy that gets injured all the time and can't stay healthy.
Okay.
David Johnson's the exact same way in a position that he's going to get hit more, get dinged up more, and the Houston Texans offensive line is terrible. We know this.
Carlos Hyde ran for 1,070 yards and 6 touchdowns with 4.4 yards a carry behind that bad offensive line.
Okay.
Because I know you're calling it. Let's just make sure.
Okay. Now, here's what I'll say.
That's actually really good production. 4.4 yards. If your running back got that, would you be happy, Coach?
Oh, yeah. 4.4.
Okay.
I just need 3.5.
Just want to throw that out there. Go
3.5. Now, are y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you why it's good for Houston, number one.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. Let me break down for you. Deshaun got to get that bag.
Ooh, yes, Lord.
That's number one.
Yeah.
And see, what everybody don't understand is that that's the most important thing, is for Deshaun to get his money.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to secure your future in Houston, you got to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Ain't too many good ones out there left. We talked about that. You got the Tannehills and
The Daltons.
what's the other dummy that got $66 million?
No, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. You got all them idiots out there. So it ain't, and you know, you don't, it's bad. So at the end of the day, the bag has got to be gotten.
Right.
Now, here's the deal. Because when I was with Roby in Houston a few months ago, he said, dude, we trying to figure out where all this money going to come from.
Right.
Because I'm trying to get my bag.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre going to back his thing up, Hopkins, his contract up. After this year, he going to be looking for his bag. JJ looking for his. And everybody knows Deshaun going to get his.
Yeah.
So when Bradley got his, the couple days before, I said, "Oh, that means somebody ain't about to get their bag."
Right.
So you trade Hopkins.
Mm-hmm.
You trade a receiver,
Top 5.
who is a top 5 receiver in the league,
Yeah.
which is exactly the right time to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you get? You get a running back who's got good numbers.
Yeah.
He does have injury issues, but he has good numbers. And you get a 2nd-round draft pick.
Mm-hmm. And a receiver-heavy draft.
Listen to me. That's what y'all ain't looking at. All they did was just improve their hand. Now you got 2 running backs on your team. Y'all act like, what's the name, just because they traded and got him, they got to keep him.
Yeah.
They can give him to somebody else and trade for a receiver, a lineman, whatever. All he is now is just another pawn on our board.
Mm-hmm.
Then now we might package him with that 2nd-round pick and get something else we need.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great move because now you secured the bag for Deshaun to get his money. You now have all these chess pieces where you can do anything you want to do. You say, you know what? We'll keep Johnson and trade Hyde.
Yeah.
Like you said, Hyde 4.4,
Mm-hmm.
over 1,000 yards rushing. A lot of people get that joke compared to what they got. The Falcons might get it. Now they got rid of Devontae Freeman. I mean, the bottom line is that and you know they don't do good as far as that's concerned. They don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Take them to the Falcons. Get something from the Falcons you need. So the bottom line is, at the end of the day, that was a great move because all they did was they got so many options now that they can do.
Right.
We can keep Hyde. We can keep Johnson. They ain't gonna keep both of them.
Right.
That both of them ain't gonna be there. So they're gonna trade one, do one, whatever with the other. Got a 2nd-round pick. They might be able to pick somebody up with that 2nd-round pick if they don't like what happens to themselves. And some credit for that now. I mean, that was great. Falcons should have done that 5 years ago with Julio when he was still working for them. Should have done that 5 years ago and got Julio.
Also,
think about what they would have gotten for Julio back
I
then.
want to say, point at, like, when you make these kind of moves, you got to look at what division you're in as well. So you're moving Hopkins. Another reason I think the move isn't great. You're moving Hopkins to a division where you got Jalen Ramsey,
mm-hmm.
the Seahawks secondary.
Mm-hmm.
And now the secondary is not as great as those, but it ain't shabby.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the impact is Nuke really going to make when 6 games out of the year he's facing that kind of competition. And that's what the Cardinals need. The Cardinals get to beat people in that division to kind of get over the hump. So for me, like, the problem is it wasn't your receiver. I don't think Nuke was going to make them that much better that it's going to change anything. With the Texans, yes, we can make arguments not making them better, but now you set yourself up in a position where you can secure your future. I don't think the Cardinals are doing any of that because, again, you just franchise tag King and Drake, so now you got to deal with that crap again next year. You got a young quarterback, young coaching system in there. You got a better receiver. Shout out to you, but your receivers were never your issue. That wasn't an issue of your team.
Yeah.
So you strengthen the strength, but it isn't making your team better because your receivers still play ball. They still caught. So I don't know. I just didn't think it was
But your offense is based on throwing the ball with the head coach that they have.
Right.
So you want to get as many options and quality options as you possibly can.
Well,
Johnson
name
can't
this
catch.
to me. Name the last teams with A+ receivers that won a Super Bowl.
We've had this conversation.
No, just name them, but just
Yeah,
name
no,
them.
that's okay. Not many. When Jerry Rice was with the
Go back to
49ers.
94.
Lynn Swan and John Stone. Swan and Stallworth.
When you have the quarterback, you can have subpar stuff at the receiver position, or just par. Let me not say subpar, but par stuff at the receiver position and still win. But if you ain't got no cap space and you ain't got no, you pay. Hell, we joke about the Falcons every day. And what did Chuck say? All that money tied up in who?
2 players. 3 players.
Yeah, this is my thing, and I'll talk about how I think it's good. Only thing that's good for them is, like you just said,
Good for
on paper for Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
On paper, you got a hot new quarterback with a lot of potential. You got a big time receiver right now, and again, guys,
He gonna put up numbers. Don't get it twisted. He gonna put up numbers.
There's a reason why they say a wide receiver's come a dime a dozen. But the bottom line is that, again, the window for a receiver ain't always what is chopped up to be. And here's what I think you're missing. Is Hopkins going to be, as a seasoned pro who been all pro, this and that and everything else, how many times he going to run that bomb and be open and the quarterback doesn't see him or can't get it to him or whatever the case may be? And how long before he blows up?
Because real nuke.
Yeah, before he is frustrated and goes crazy and whatnot. And I think that's what you're going to see out of him. Because, again, he was a handful. If you watched him play, which I watched him play a few times in person, and a lot of times you don't see it on TV,
Right.
but he's frustrated because he's wide open and they're not throwing the ball to him. And like I said, with a young, new quarterback and all that, and guess what that quarterback does now? He decides, okay, I'm going to make sure I look at him all the time, try to get him the ball. And then you're trying to force the ball into him while other guys running wide open. Now they don't want to be there. Because, read the field. Do what you're supposed to do. Throw the ball where you're supposed to throw.
I think it's going to be telling, like you said, Travis, to see what moves the Texans make from here. If they don't fill the void in receiver, I agree with you, it would be a terrible move.
Because right now they got nobody to throw to. Will Fuller. Congratulations. He's injured every year.
Deepest draft in receiver.
Amen.
I'm not saying a rookie changed their game.
And again,
I understand that. And I get that argument.
You got pieces.
But are you getting DeAndre Hopkins in the second round?
You got you might.
You're right.
You might get a future DeAndre Hopkins.
Exactly. You may get DeAndre Hopkins.
With Deshaun getting the contract he's going to get, that might be what you need.
They're taking a big risk.
I don't think it's that big of a risk. Like Jason said, this is a wide receiver heavy draft this year. If they had said nothing else about the draft this year,
that is true.
They said that this is a wide receiver heavy draft.
I get it. Yeah.
So they might get the Jew. Who knows? Anyway,
I don't think he'll be there in the second round. But.
It's time to get out of here, folks. It's time for us to get out of here. We had a ball. Want to thank Chuck Smith for being on the show earlier tonight. We talked about a lot of things tonight. We hope that you were able to get enriched by some of the things we talked about. Other things I talked about anyway.
I was about to break it in half, and I'm going to talk about that healthcare boy.
Yeah.
No, some research.
I know, but he was talking about what he had versus what they have.
Right.
And it's a lot better what they have. Now, it was just we
got a little
off of it a little bit, but his perspective was based on what he has and what he got. And all the old NFL guys are going to talk about how stuff is so much better today.
Oh, don't worry. We do a show with you every week.
But that's what I'm saying. But the topic was more about, was it good for today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that we just got on two different wavelengths there. Anyway, we got to get out of here, folks. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. Richard Hood, Mr. Butler, good to see you out there. I know I saw Brad on there earlier.
Yeah, Miss Peavy, both the Peavy's on there. Clay,
Oh, both the good.
Travis's brother.
Yep, my
came.
brother was
Both
on
are good.
there.
Oh yeah,
And
they
tell
came right
your,
when it was time to wash some hands.
yeah, Miss Gibson, tell your son stop calling me while I'm doing my radio show.
I saw that.
Yeah, just blowing me up over here. I know you in town. Jerk, you should have been there lifting today.
Ooh.
Now, while we trying to, you need to try to get bigger,
You ain't want
Mr.
to get the Ronies, man.
Mr. Big 10,
Tony Maroney's.
Little 10, whatever they call it.
Little hey, slow down now.
Well, you know everything with the good is a little. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all next week. Good night, Miss Francis.
Straight from the hip.
Oh, that's my song there. What that boy say? Life is good.